Oh, hello, Ivor. Knowing me, knowing you.
Absolutely.
Aha!
Yeah, it's just lots of people say, well, how do you write a song? How do you write a song?
For me, it begins with messing around on the guitar, just with some chords, maybe a chord sequence. And then I'll just sort of put some noise above it, a melody.
A melody.
Like, la 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 doo, 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 doo.
So do you always just always
song.
come up with a melody first and then later do some
chord sequence first, then melody, then the lyrics, which are often do or dee or dee day dee do dee die dee do day die do, and then I add words.
Oh, right.
That's the layer.
That's your formula, is it, right?
Yeah.
And when do you write your songs?
3 o'clock in the morning.
Any particular reason?
Probably because at that time I'm in a sort of mental space of free fall, and it's a meditation. For me, it's a meditation to come back to something I'm fiddling around with the guitar with, and then if anything drops into it, I may have well, like for now I've got this. Technically I'll practice and practice just as a meditation, and then if anything drops in melody wise, la 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 la
So that's kind of like, this is work in progress, isn't it? This is,
yeah.
It's very interesting to see how that is at the moment evolving.
Yeah.
Thinking about one of your previous ones that you've completed, what do you think about the way in which that was structured? Does that reflect this, or is there one in particular that you described as being for you a very successful? You felt it was a successful songwriting experience,
Well,
meditation.
Definitely. There's one in particular that I wrote when I deliberately went away for a whole week one Easter in 2012, to dedicatedly do some work at the cottage in Walt Mill in Staffordshire, but also give myself time to play the guitar a lot and to make up a song. That was an objective, a real objective, and I thought if I give myself the space and the time and the focus, perhaps that will happen. And it did. And it's this one that came out of the mood I was in, the mood of the week, and something I wanted to express in that week.
So you were in a mood?
A contemplative mood.
Oh, a contemplative mood.
And,
okay.
I'll just play the start because then you recognise it from my first album called Restoration. Look on these ways as a man who's lost his way. Because that started as a sort of incoherent series of chords, like I like this twiddly bit. That's just messing around with the chords. So loads of melodies could go on top of that.
Yeah.
But the melody, often my melodies are, they're not obvious, they're not the root note of the chord, but they are notes that are played in the chord, like that song. Look on, so there's the note there. Look on me.
analysing it now, but when you're actually creating it,
The
you're not
melodies,
thinking like that, or
well, the melody is
conscious?
suggested by the chords,
Right.
so I sort of hear the melody by the way I pick the chords.
Right.
So I can hear it in the chords. Look on these days as a man. There it is there.
So to
There.
what extent is it just a kind of a mechanical exercise, and to what extent do you feel it's a kind of inspiration, or what's the balance between?
For me, it's wanting to express myself, to say something that if I said it in blunt prose might seem unacceptable, to just say what I was feeling. It might be, I might feel overexposed, or I might feel that what I'm feeling or thinking isn't acceptable, you know, socially or something. And so I'll often transpose it or transmute it into a metaphor.
Right.
A metaphor within the song.
Right.
So at that time, in that week, it was a sort of transition period for me, and I was a bit in a time of change, a time of flux, a time of change, a time of reflection, a time of sorrow, and a time of relief and adventure. So a lot of strong feelings were around. So to come out with the line, "Look on me these days," it's like preempting the judgments that I felt people could have about where I'd got to in my life. And that, so to sort of respond to that imagined
So
judgment.
are your songs genuinely about your own personal experience and emotional life, or?
Some are, yeah, very much autobiographical or derived from personal experience, and probably where I am right then, because I find that quite motivating. I find that quite engaging and real and authentic.
What do people say about it? Why do people like listening to your music? If it's written by you, about you, isn't it just for you?
No, because I hope that it talks of something that, well, the sound universal sounds pretentious, but I mean it might be something that people could relate to or empathise with. That I might put it in such terms, and this is what I hope, and this is what I very much feel comfortable with then.
So that's what you talk about, metaphor, for example.
Yeah, and if I write something, and if it touches somebody emotionally, or they think, yeah, I know that, or that reminds me of when I felt such and such at such and such a time, I think, good, job done, because I've made a connection then with people. I've shared of myself, but I've connected with people because it strikes a chord with them, that expression.
Well, that seems like a great cue to just, perhaps if you'd like to play us out with one of your numbers.
Okay, I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Pritchard, thank you very much.
Okay, this one's called Castaway, or Castaway Now. Cast away now from the wreck of a ship of dreams, learning to tell the meaning in all these things. I've spent more time with your ghost in my mind. I've spent with you my life. Learning to live in this arcane